Hi there, this is Claudine Helmuth, and I'm here today to show you how to put together my graduation cap printable favor box kit. So you can see the caps here, and you can change the text to make this say any name that you like, or you can change out the dates. So you can use them year after year and again, or you can choose not to have any text there and just have a plain colored cap. Now I've designed them in black caps as well as white caps, and the white caps are great because you can print onto any color paper so that you can easily match your school's colors. I've also included a variety of tassel colors as well as a white tassel, so that way you can print onto any color paper for that as well and get an exact match to your school's colors. Now the boxes open up like this, and you can put candies, treats, favors, and things like that inside. And they're also a great size for checks, cash, or even little gift cards. Now the boxes are really quite easy to assemble, but I've got a couple little tips for assembling the tassel as well as the body of the box that will make it go even easier for you. Now when you download and print out the kit, this is what it's going to look like, and you'll be able to change the date to whatever date you want, or you can put in names, or you can erase the text and leave it blank for a completely black plain cap if that's what you'd like. Now the kit comes with the black cap as well as the white cap, but I'm just going to show you how to put together the black cap here. They both go together the same way. And so you've got a page for the front of the hat, and then you've got the page for the inside of the hat, which is what holds the candies and treats. Then we've got a page for the tassels, and the tassels come in all of these different colors, but I'm just going to show you the yellow one today. And of course, as I said earlier, there's also the white tassel that you can print onto any color paper you like. Now for the tassels, you want to make sure to just print onto regular copy weight paper, just the regular letter paper that you use in your printer already, because if you print on heavier weight paper, the tassel won't be very tassel-y. So we want it to have flexibility. Now I've included on the page 2 tassels. Of course, each hat would only use 1 tassel, but I wanted to completely fill the page so as not to waste paper. But we'll just be using this part, which would be 1 tassel. So again, this is on lightweight paper, and then the body of the hat is on heavier cardstock weight paper. So to get started, we're going to cut out around all of the elements. And here's just a quick cutting tip for you on the sides of the box that have all of the letters. Now those tabs are going to fold inside, and we're not going to see them. So you can just zip up along with your scissors. You don't have to worry about cutting them exactly on the line. So that will make that cutting go even faster. As well as with the letter A tab here, you can just get pretty close to that and just cut along quite quickly. Now the part that you want to be more careful on is the bottom, because that will show, as well as that edge, because that will show as well. And here's just a quick tip for cutting out circles. You want to just go in, and holding the paper, you want to move the paper rather than the scissors. So I'm just holding my scissors stationary, and I'm moving the paper around, and this will get you a nice circle rather than cutting around the circle by moving the scissors. It's just easier for me. So if you haven't tried that before, you might want to try that. I find it goes much faster. Now I've got everything cut out. You want to make sure to keep your pieces together. So this is the inside of the box, and then this is the outside of the box, and this is the tassel. Now you'll notice here I've just rough cut out the tassel as well as the tassel cord. At this point, we don't need to cut it perfectly along the lines, and I'll show you a few more steps for assembly, and you'll see why in a few minutes. Now for our score lines on our box, those are the dotted lines along here and also along here. We're going to want to score them so that they fold nicely. And the reason we need to do that is I'm working on a heavier weight paper here. I like to use the Staples Matte Photo. It's an inexpensive paper, but it prints nicely. It's also a good weight for holding candies and treats and things like that. It's 61 pounds, 11 mil. Now, if you're working on anything heavier than a regular letter copy type paper, you will want to score your lines. Now, for the tassel, because we're on this really lightweight paper, I can just go ahead and fold that on the dotted line there, and it will fold just fine. But for this, we want to score. And how we score is you'll want a ruler that you line up with the dotted line. And then I like to use a pen that has no ink in it. So it's a completely empty, dried out pen. If you don't have a pen that has no ink in it, you could use a butter knife even to get a good score line. And I'm just going to draw down on the dotted line very firmly, and you will see here that it's made a nice indent in the paper, and that will make our tabs fold over exactly on the dotted line, exactly all in the same place. So it will make a really clean look. So you want to do that to this piece as well as to this piece. Now that we've scored those pieces, you'll want to fold over all of the tabs on both parts of the box. And then you'll just want to roll up the paper like this, just to warm it up to the idea of being in a cylinder shape. The paper really wants to lay flat, so I find by warming it up, it will hold better in the round shape, just to kind of get it. You can see how it's already taking on a curve, and that will make it easier. So you want to do that to both pieces, just kind of gently, so that you don't get any lines or folds where you don't want them. Just gently hold it in a cylinder shape, and we'll set those pieces aside for just 1 minute. And now we're just going to prepare the tassel for assembly. It needs to dry, so we'll get it ready now, and then we will set it aside and come back to it later. So the tassel cord I have just folded in half, and I'm going to open it back up like this. And same thing for the tassel. I folded in half along the line, and I'm just going to open it up like this. And then you just need some glue stick, and you're just going to run the glue stick along and then secure both sides together like that. And then you'll set that aside to dry. And same thing on the tassel part. You're just going to glue stick and then press both sides together, and we'll set that aside to dry. Now we're ready to assemble our hat. So we're going to start with the outside pieces. Now normally you would think to put adhesive along all of these tabs, but I've got an easier way I'm going to show you. And you don't need this top piece yet, so I'll just set that aside. All you need are the circle and then the main body of the hat. So the only place on this piece that we're going to add adhesive is on this tab A. And the type of adhesive I like to use is the Scotch double-sided tape that you can apply using the tape glider. You can also buy the little disposable tape guns from the craft store, or just use the double-sided tape that comes from your drugstore or grocery store. Just make sure to get permanent and not removable adhesive. You definitely want a strong hold. So I'm just going to apply tape here to tab A. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply tape all the way around the circle, as close to the edge as I can get it. So this is much easier than applying adhesive to all of those little tabs. And just make sure that I got it really close to the edge there. And I don't know if you can see it in the light, but it's very close to the edge all the way around. So that will give us good adhesion. So now we are ready to start adding our hat. So we're just going to take whatever part of the hat you want to start off with. I usually start with tabs L over here, and you're just going to secure those. I like to press in so that this edge meets the edge of the circle, and that's what's going to help it be in a really nice circle. And then you can see here where it's fitting in. And I just made all these tabs little rectangles. It makes it so much easier to cut, and it doesn't make it any different in assembly. So now I'll hold it this way just so you can see. So I'm just going to roll along and press my tabs in. So just rolling along the very edge there and press, roll and press. And if you need to, you can re-lift up some of the tabs so you have a little bit of workability there. And just continue to roll it around, pressing into the circle so that way you're getting that nice circle shape. And then you're just going to roll around here, and you're just going to roll around here. And now I'm at the end. And I leave these last ones a little bit loose, and I tuck tab A under, and I line up this with the light gray area, and then I'm just going to press down. And then you're just going to press down on all your tabs. You can put it down on a surface and take your scoring pen and just go around like that. And don't worry if some of the tabs don't want to stick all the way, because we're going to be putting the top of the hat on and you won't see that. So now to add the top of the hat, and what I do is I just put an X of double-sided tape close to the center. You can do a little bit extra if you want. So it's just close to the center of the hat. And in general, the graduation caps, this point lines up with the point on the graduation cap. So you want to get it kind of headed in that direction, but don't worry if you don't get it exactly. So what I do is I just sort of look down and try to center it as best as humanly possible, and then just press. And there you go. You can see it's really coming along, but now we need to create the inside of the box. Now the inside of the box puts together almost exactly the same, but we've got two circles here. We're going to set aside the white circle, and this is the circle we're going to be working with for assembly. Just the same as for the outside of the box, we're going to apply adhesive to tab A, and we'll set that aside. And then we're going to apply adhesive to the back of this circle. And now we're just going to re-warm up our paper to being in a cylinder shape. And then we are ready to start. Now you want the pattern to be facing down, and you want the tabs to be looking at you. So you want to see the white part of the paper, and then you want to see the letters on the tabs. And I'm just going to start at the end with KK and JJ. And then just like with the top of the hat, I'm going to press in on the circle as I go, making sure that that edge meets up with the circle. And now I've gotten all the way around. I'm just going to leave those tabs out, and I'm going to tuck in tab A, and I'm going to line up this piece with the edge of the tab. There's a slightly lighter color gray there to use as your guide. And then I'm going to press down on my work table and use my scoring pen again to get good adhesion on the bottom there. And now we need to cover up these little tabs on the bottom. So that's what this little white circle is for. And you're just going to add adhesive around the edge. And then you're going to just line it up nice and centered. And again, press down and press with your scoring pen to make sure that's got good adhesion. And there we've got the inside of the box, and we can put them together here like that. So it's looking really good, but it's going to look even better once it's got its tassel. These are the tassel pieces that we glued together earlier. So all we have to do now for the cord piece is we just need to trim it. And I just trim off all the excess white paper. And sometimes you may like your cord to be skinnier. At this point, you may think it looks better that way, or you may like it this width. That is totally up to you. So at this point, it's a good way to just refine the look of the cord. So just cut all the way along, and then we'll just set that aside. And then for the tassel, we're going to cut that out. So I'm going to cut carefully along all of the rectangle, just cutting off all of the white area. And then I'm going to cut all of these lines, and you'll see that they don't go all the way up to the top. There's a little area that you don't cut, so just cut all of those lines. So now it looks like this, and you're just going to take your adhesive and run it along the edge where you don't cut all the way up. And then you're going to take your tassel cord and you're just going to press it into the adhesive on one end. And you are going to then start to roll it up, and you want to roll it as tightly as you can. And then it looks like this. So now we want to give some life to it. So press and hold here to hold the cord in, and then you're just going to curl it with your fingernail like you were curling gift wrap ribbon or string or something like that. And you can see it curls up quite nicely. And then you want to kind of fluff these pieces and also take your fingernail and curl the ends. Just the ends a little bit. If you go too far up, it tends to look a little broomsticky. So I like to just kind of curl the ends. And if you look, most tassels are pretty straight until they get to the ends. So you're just going to kind of take each one and just curl it out. And you can curl them in different directions. And then when you're finished, it should look like this a little bit. And now we're ready to add it to the hat. So I like to just measure the height visually. So probably about right there. Usually the tassel goes almost the full length of the hat. So we'll trim off that excess. And then I'm just going to curl it again. I like it to be really curly. And then we're just going to take the little circle that is with the tassel pieces, and we're going to add a little bit of adhesive to that. Now you could use double-sided tape, or you could use glue stick. I find the double-sided tape is just easiest because you don't have to worry about it drying. And what I like to do is I like to just do one little twist at the top so that it goes like that. Otherwise, if you go like that and no twist, that looks fine, but I feel like this adds a little bit of extra dimension, just to twist and then have it go like that with just the one twist there. And then you're just going to take your little circle and you're going to apply it right over the circle that was already on the hat. And there you go. You've got your cute little graduation cap. Now, don't forget, you can do the tassels in all different colors. You can also print onto any color on the white cap as well. So you can really customize these. You can change the text to say dates and names. So you can really make them extra special and personalized for your favorite graduate.